Yo, what it is, YouTube? Is your boy DC coming back with another bullseye of a video here today on the channel. And guys, today I want to talk about something important, the compression tricks that every song that you have needs. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below to support the channel. Check out the links, MixLikeNix.com. Go to the website where you can grab a free preset. You can grab the courses. You can check out the mixing and mastering services that we have. And let's get to it right now. Let's listen to the track.
Motion, motion, girl fall in love with the motion. Motion, motion, girl can't get enough of the potion.
Girl tell me say she love how me move. She no want follow nobody rules. She just want to do anything when she choose. And she just want make her own money for use. Girl you not go believe the lifestyle when me live no easy. Me have to watch how me move in the streets, but she don't care as long as she have money.
So you guys get an understanding of the song. So one of the first things I always like to do when it comes to compression is understand like what am I going for with the song. And I know with this track specifically, when I look at my 2-track beat, some 2-track beats might already be smoothed off or clipped, but you always like to look at the dynamics in between the waveform. So if I felt like this 2-track beat was swinging a little bit too hard and it was like working on my bus too hard.
Motion.
Damn, man, I'm a little bit too close to the ceiling. This is towards the end of the mix. I would do this. I would use something like the Weiss compressor. Here's a great style of compression that can help you guys a lot. He's using a transparent compressor. This one is not cheap, but the Weiss compressor is definitely great for the master bus and well as compressing the 2-track beat, just because it's good at really getting the whole beat to be glued more. Sometimes you might get a 2-track beat where it feels like the kick and the drums are so loud. So to get everything to feel like it's together, which allows you to take the vocal and drop it in the bucket and drop it into the pocket, this is a great technique to do is by using this transparent style of compression. And I like to keep the ratio very low because when you keep the ratio low, you're working on more of the signal altogether. For example, if you were to put the ratio on 1.25, yeah, it will look at the kick a little bit, but for the most part, it's gonna work on everything. They could produce a different sound. Now it sounds like the music is being squeezed in a little bit more. Okay, now here's a super gem with this plugin. One thing that a lot of people don't do with this plugin, if you ever have a 2-track beat that has too much low end, which that's definitely gonna happen to you. What you can do is you can put this on the low pass and you can only compress the bass. I'm gonna show you an extreme example. So that's like if you wanted to compress the whole entire bass. This is not like multi-band compression. This is more like band selective compression. Because I guess with the multi-band compressor, it does more cuts, but this just selects one band and that's it. And it's really dope because of that. So let's see if I actually had too much low end on this 2-track beat, how to approach it. You click the monitor button. That's what I'm looking for. I would look for just the low end. I would go in there just like a detective, like Sherlock Holmes in the motherfucking 2-track beat. But this is when you have too much bass, because sometimes you're gonna run into a 2-track beat that got too much fucking bass. And you want to make it sound like, you know, just balanced, so your vocal could sit balanced. Or maybe the 2-track beat is hitting too hard with the vocal and is distorting the master fader. That's what I like to do. I like to hit the monitor button and only hear the low end. That's the whole beat. look at the waveform. The bass has got the most energy, of course. This is the first technique I like to use a lot, guys, is using a transparent amount of compression. And you can also do it for the kick too. Yeah, that's just how it is, man. I think I need to change my thing. There we go. But yeah, you could do it for the kick too, though. Good, especially when people give a note like, yo, every time the kick hits, it feels like my vocal is distorting. So rather than having to remix the whole song, or if you only got a 2-track beat, what you could do is, first of all, check your master fader, of course. Por supuesto que sí. Pero después, what you want to do is you want to actually maybe try to use a comparent form of band selective compression, like what we got here, to get the job done. All right, so now when it comes to the actual vocals, I like to analyze my waveform too, you know, like even before I start mixing, I'm like, okay, maybe I might need a limiter sometimes when you have more peak energy than others. Sometimes you might need a smoothing form of compression. So here's the most important thing though, is when you try to compress the vocals, you need to remember that there's also a tone associated sometimes. You know, like for example, the CLA 76, even though in this case, I'm not even using it to compress, I know it has a tone regardless of the fact, and it's giving me more salt, pepper, and lime.
Motion, girl fall in love with emotion. Motion, motion, girl say she want more of the potion. Motion, 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 girl fall in love with emotion. Motion, motion, girl say she want more of the potion. Motion, motion, girl fall in love with emotion.
So with this song, I was going for something a little bit harsh. Motion, motion, girl falling. I wanted to reinforce the tone that he was already giving. So that's one advanced way that you can take advantage of compressors to really get your sound to just be sounding pro and mainstream, is by understanding it's not just the sound of compressing it, but the tone associated. Okay, I know I just ordered some wings, but they're gonna come with a sauce. All right, the blue cheese. You know, this might just be the blue cheese sauce. The other one might just be chipotle sauce. But either way, they have a flavor regardless of the compression wings that are coming with it, if you understand me. All right, so that's another great way of taking advantage of compression. And something that's very smart that you can do too is you can use a plugin like Waves Vocal Writer, right, before you even hit a compressor, to make sure the signal is more consistent going into an actual real compressor. Another plugin too that I like to use a lot is a Dynasist. Okay, and with this plugin right here, it's gonna ride the vocal for you, right? So that's another way that you can get the most out of your compressors, is by putting a Dynasist before it, or like a Waves Vocal Writer. So like now you have this balanced signal that is consistently hitting the compressor in a certain way where it's not gonna like distort it and fuck it up. You know what I mean? So that's something that's very important too.
Motion, motion, girl fall in love with emotion. Motion, motion, girl say she want more of the potion. Motion, motion, girl fall in love with emotion. Motion, motion, girl can't get enough of the potion.
Girl tell me say she love how me move. She no want follow nobody rules.
Motion, motion, girl fall in love with emotion. Motion, motion, girl say she want more of the potion. Motion, motion, girl fall in love with emotion.
Just by adding a little bit of that vocal rider, even the multiband compressor, certain frequencies aren't jumping out as much because in general it's not as loud. So that's another great, fantastic way that we could take advantage of like manual compression, which is like actually us riding the fader and stuff like that to get it to sound really pro and mainstream. Okay, now here's another thing that I like to use when it comes to my compressors. Sometimes to make certain stuff sound different, I like to compress the background vocals different from the lead vocal, okay? That's how you make stuff have variety in a song.
Money for use. Girl, you not go believe the lifestyle when me live no easy. Me have to watch how me move in the streets, but she no care as long as she have money. Yeah.
Motion, motion, girl fall in love with the motion. Motion, motion, girl say she want more of the potion. Motion, motion, girl fall in love with the motion. Motion, motion, girl can't get enough of the potion.
Me move or me move, and me no watch what people a do. Me no wind up on the news. Baby, me have too much to lose. So baby, tell me if this.
So now you hear how like that background vocal stack sounds different from the lead vocal in terms of the distance, because we're using a fast attack on the limiter to help when it all comes together. First of all, it glues it, regardless, it glues it. But second of all, most importantly though, is that it makes it feel like the lead vocal is front because there's not as much compression on the lead vocal, and that the background vocals are back, regardless of EQ that we do or anything else or whatever. Just that the dynamic control of the front end.
Me no wind up on the news. Baby, me have too much to lose. So baby, tell me if this life is for you. Me no wind up on the news. Baby, me have too much to lose. So baby, tell me.
A little inconsistent.
Me no wind up on the news. Baby, me have too much to lose. So baby, tell me if this life is for you. She look for me and I give me attitude. Me have one friend, me not have two. Money won't try kill you, but people will do.
Motion, motion, girl fall in love with the motion. Motion.
And the last recommendation I would make is sometimes don't even try to have your aux connecting. Like, don't even share the reverb of the background vocals with the lead vocal. Don't do that because you're gonna make it sound like the same. Sometimes that's a good thing to make stuff get glued, but you also have the opportunity to maybe put the actual reverb on the direct aux or something like that. Use the wet knob and then compress it after the fact. So then now like the reverb and everything like that feels cohesive for the background vocals as they come together, and they also release at the same time too. So the whole shit just feels more musical. It feels more connected. It feels like a school, a high school where everybody's clicked up. They know each other. All the background vocals is clicked up. They friends from back in the day. They all know each other. You feel me? They all gonna stay solid. So I just want to say thank you guys for lots of staying solid and watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And down below, check out MixLikeNix.com where you can get the best vocal templates, plugin presets, courses, and book some dope mixing and mastering services to get your track to sound good as hell, just like that. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all now. Peace.